Now look, what I'm about to share with you is probably going to make a bunch of Disney folks out there nervous. Way early in the creative process, it's blue sky. They are very serious discussions about some of our initial ideas. Are you guys nervous?
Just a little bit. Blue sky process.
Real aspirations. Are you going to be a wimp?
And I'd hesitate even to call this a concept.
Further now, making some people really nervous.
That's what we're exploring. Imagine. What if, and maybe, what if?
What if?
I thought we talked.
No. It's not planned anytime soon.
This is a thought starter.
For the Magic Kingdom 2.
So Disney's D23 Expo has come and gone for 2022. The parks panel that took place gave us more questions than we actually got answers. So let's go ahead and just break down everything that got announced. Welcome to the Hub and Spoke. So going into this D23 Expo, we had a lot of questions in terms of Tron Lightcycle Run in the Magic Kingdom, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the retheming of Splash Mountain, and anything else that might be going on in the parks that hasn't been yet announced. For example, Tarzan's Treehouse is currently under refurbishment, under scrim at Disneyland, but we got no information on what could be happening with that. So let's go over park by park what was announced by Josh D'Amaro and the parks team at D23. In Disneyland, the Mandalorian and Grogu will be a character meet and greet that is coming to Galaxy's Edge. We already learned that this was going to be coming, but now we have a look at what this character meet and greet, walk around character will actually look like. Additionally, I had predicted that we would be getting a Hulk with the exoskeleton, and we did indeed get that, but I can't say that I'm happy with what it actually looks like. Instead of going with the normal shirtless type of Hulk look, they put Hulk inside of the Avengers in-game time traveling suit. Now I do think they did this in order to give Hulk a voice, otherwise he wouldn't be able to really be a talking character. Overall, this is a really cool idea, but I think the actual execution of the finished product is a little bit awkward. We did get an update on the Avengers e-ticket ride that was previously announced for Avengers Campus, and then we didn't really know what was going on with that, but now we have an update that the multiverse will be brought into Avengers Campus. This new ride has been completely overhauled. It has a completely new storyline, a new concept. It now looks like it's going to be some kind of trackless ride system, similar to how Rise of the Resistance is. From the concept art that they did show off for this new concept, it looks like it is going to be a very screen-heavy attraction. They did also announce the villain of this new story will be King Thanos, which is going to be a version of Thanos that won against the Avengers, staying in Disney's California Adventure. We did get a little bit of an update on Pixar Place, a little bit more concept art on that, not really much info. They did, however, announce that the Pacific Wharf area of Disney's California Adventure will be rethemed into the Big Hero 6 city, San Fransokyo. We got a little bit of concept art for what that could look like, but that's definitely several years down the line. Before we go over to Disneyland, they did show off a little bit more about the Downtown Disney revamp. Just a couple announcements on restaurants that are going to be going there. They did make a big deal about Porto's, which is apparently a bakehouse of some sort that is very popular over in California. I've never had it. They gave away free pastries and baked goods from Porto's after the expo panel ended, so it must be good. They did also announce that RunDisney is going to be returning to the Disneyland Resort in 2024. This is an event that has continued to happen at Walt Disney World, but it hasn't been at Disneyland for a while now, but it is coming back, and it got a big applause because that is a hugely popular event. Now going into Disneyland, we did get a little update on ToonTown, which is supposedly going to be finished and reopening in early 2023, along with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. We got a look at Donald's Boathouse, which is going to get redone in a more accessible way. It will have a splash pad kind of area around it instead of an actual pond. Goofy's house will actually have a play yard themed after all of his cartoons. And we did get a little bit more of a look into the El Capitan Theater, which is going to be the entrance and queue area of the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. All of the concept that they showed for this looks pretty cool. It'll be awesome to actually get a chance to see it in person once it does open. hopefully on time in early 2023. The next update that we got was regarding the Splash Mountain retheme into Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Now at the media preview of the D23 Expo conference floor, they did show off the new facade of Splash Mountain, and they did also announce that there's going to be a completely new storyline for the ride. Instead of being themed to Louis and Tiana going to Mardi Gras, it now has a story based on Tiana's Foods, which is a company that Tiana has created, and she needs to go on an adventure to find a very specific ingredient that she needs. So we will join her, Louis, and Prince Naveen as they go through the bayou on an adventure to find this special ingredient. Now, before we move on to any other parks, they did mention the 100th Disney Company anniversary that began at D23, but won't actually begin in the parks until January. This celebration is going to take place in all the parks around the world, but the heart of the celebration is actually going to happen in Disneyland. Along with this 100th celebration, we are getting a brand new version of World of Color. Now, I did also predict that we would possibly see a new World of Color get announced, and we did actually get this, and it is going to be called World of Color 1, and it's going to focus on the 100th anniversary of the Disney Company and add in new movies and properties that weren't previously included in World of Color. Disneyland itself is also getting a new nighttime show called Wondrous Journeys. It has a brand new theme song called It's Wondrous, and they did have a live performance of this new song. Both of these new shows will premiere at Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure respectively in January. They did also announce that Magic Happens, the parade that had a very short-lived time before the 2020 closures. That parade will be coming back in spring of 2023. Now, before we go over to Walt Disney World, which was a pretty interesting presentation, let's go over what is happening in the international parks and also with Disney Cruise Line. In the international parks at Shanghai, we got a new look at Zootopia, some more concept art of the land itself, the type of buildings that we can expect. They did also show off an animatronic that is going to greet us as we enter the police station for the main attraction of this land. That animatronic is incredibly smooth, it looks great, but we really didn't get much more information about that. In Hong Kong, we found out that the new land World of Frozen will be opening in 2023. We also got a look at a new statue of Walt and Mickey sitting on a bench in front of the carousel that is at the Hong Kong Disney Resort. In Tokyo, they are tearing down Space Mountain and rebuilding a complete new version of Space Mountain, and we did get a little bit of a timeline on what we could expect from that, and it's expected to open sometime in 2027. We did also get a look at the Disney Sea Fantasy Springs land that is currently being built. With this, they didn't really give us much more information other than a look at one of the animatronics of Elsa that will be in the Frozen ride. Now in Walt Disney World at Epcot, they have Frozen Ever After, where all of the Frozen animatronics have projected faces. This particular animatronic did not have a projected face, and it looks amazing. Over in Paris, they're currently celebrating their 30th anniversary, and next year, during the grand finale of this celebration, it is announced that there will be a new Pixar We Belong Together stage show. As well as Disney Studios, they do have the expansion lands that are getting constructed right now. They showed off a little bit more of what we can expect the Frozen themed land to look like, as well as a Gardens entry plaza to this Frozen themed land. Now these gardens will include a Tangled themed family ride, as well as some restaurants and other experiences. For the Disneyland Hotel that is in Paris, we did also get an update on the suites that are all getting a complete retheme. They're going to be adding Frozen suites, as well as Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Tangled, and more themed suites like that. For Disney Cruise Line, they actually announced a brand new 6th ship that is getting built right now that will take sail in 2024. It is going to be called the Disney Treasure. They'll have a signature statue in the grand entry area of Aladdin and Jasmine on the magic carpet, and the entire ship itself will be themed around the idea of Disney adventure. They announced for the first time ever, Disney Cruise Line will have sailings to Australia and New Zealand, and the Disney Wonder will be repositioned to the South Pacific. They did show off a little bit more concept art for the new island that is being built currently called Lighthouse Point. It looks like this is still in the very early concept stages, but some of the concept that they showed off looked really nice. Now everything that we've talked about so far are things that have been expected or speculated online for several months now. However, once we got over to Walt Disney World, things got a little interesting. They started off the entire panel with a live performance of Happily Ever After, and they did announce very quickly that Happily Ever After is returning to the Magic Kingdom in 2023 as a whole new nighttime experience. Over in EPCOT, they did announce that HarmonioUS is unfortunately very short-lived. I am one of the people that actually enjoy HarmonioUS. I think it is a great show. It is very visually pleasing. It is very much a spectacular. However, it has got a lot of criticism, and it seems like Disney has heard that criticism, and they're very quickly, once again, changing to a new show. As late in 2023, we will be getting a complete new EPCOT nighttime show. In EPCOT as well, they did announce that there will be a Figment meet and greet that will come by the end of 2023. Now, this is something that I actually predicted might happen. I did say that there might be a full retheming of Journey into Imagination, but it seems they're just, for now, going with Figment as a meet and greet character. And lastly, in EPCOT, we did get an update on the entire reimagining of the center of the park. Everything going on in World Celebration currently is set to open in late 2023, and this does include the Moana Journey of Water walkthrough attraction, which at the beginning of this expo we found out will feature a 16-foot tall Tafiti statue. However, this attraction looks pretty far along as they're already starting to paint all of the rock work, so it could be that this attraction sits around for a while waiting for the rest of World Celebration to complete its construction. Back over in the Magic Kingdom, they did announce that the Hatbox Ghost is getting added to the Walt Disney World version of Haunted Mansion. This is something that was speculated to be coming for the 50th anniversary and then got scrapped when 2020 happened. But now they're bringing it back as part of the 100th anniversary. So that'll be cool to have the Hatbox Ghost added to the Haunted Mansion. Now, before we get into the real hot topics of the Walt Disney World portion of this presentation, they did mention Tron. However, it's opening in spring 2023. So go ahead and add another half a year onto that ride until we can actually get onto it. I really don't know at this point what is taking so long with this ride. And on the outside, it looks like pretty much everything is done except for landscaping and the finishing of the actual pathways on the ground. But inside, they've already been testing the ride with people on the ride. So that tells me that there's really not much left to do inside of the ride. I don't know why they would test everything through all of the different stages of testing to get to the point of live riders being on the ride without everything being finished inside, but yet we still gotta wait several more months. They didn't say anything about the Walt Disney World Railroad and when that might reopen, but I do still anticipate it will reopen before Tron actually opens. They are testing it currently, they're training cast members, so it really can't be that much longer for the railroad to return. It's been 5 years, bring it back. Put the track together and just bring it back. So finally, the good stuff. Disney decided once again to go ahead and announce a lot of things that are so far in the future, they don't even know what's happening. So we don't know what to expect to actually happen with all of these announcements, but they did go ahead and just give us a bunch of concept art, talk about what we could expect possibly. So let's just go ahead and dive into this, I guess. So Disney had an entire blue sky segment of their parks panel, and they brought out a lead Imagineer on the project, as well as someone from the Disney animation department that is going to be a lead on this entire project. And they did include information on Animal Kingdom as well as Magic Kingdom. So over in Animal Kingdom, Dinoland needs some love, and they finally did announce that they're going to be doing something with Dinoland, but they don't quite know what they're going to be doing with Dinoland yet. They put a lot of emphasis on all of these topics, that they were very blue sky, they were thought starters. They're just getting the ball rolling on these ideas, but they threw out the idea of bringing Zootopia into the Dinoland area of Animal Kingdom. Now we can already see what we might expect from the Zootopia area in the international parks. Now over in Magic Kingdom, they went even more out of the box. They asked the question of, have you ever wondered what is on the other side of Big Thunder Mountain? And I guess that is something that they have been thinking about, because they're planning a whole new land to the park that will go behind Big Thunder Mountain. They did go over a few of the ideas that they have for this possible land, and they mentioned the idea of Encanto coming to that area, or possibly even having an entire villains themed land. However, in terms of Encanto, they didn't really say much other than being able to touch your own door, talking about Bruno, and just experiencing what it would be like to be in the Madrigal family. Now again, they put so much emphasis on the blue sky and the thought starter aspects of these topics, and spend so much time showing this at this panel. My guess is that this is Disney's idea of a response to Universal's Epic Universe, which is moving very quickly in terms of construction, and they are on goal to open by 2024. A lot of people don't even think that Epic Universe is going to take until 2024. Currently, Disney needs to do something to respond to Epic Universe, and I believe that this blue sky thought starter announcement was their idea of a response. So overall, even though we got a lot of information, we didn't really get much new, and there are some things that a lot of people expected, like the return of the People Mover, more information about the Disneyland Tomorrowland overhaul. They didn't even mention the new DVC lounge that's going into Tomorrowland. Really, they did a focus on a little bit of fan service, some updates on some projects that are near completion, and then a look at some things that are possibly 10 years down the line. So with all of this information that Disney did or did not announce today at D23, we all have these ideas of what we can expect. We speculate on things, but we have to remember not to take our speculation and turn it into expectation that then alters our reaction and our thoughts on what Disney actually does. I would love to have Encanto in the parks. I would love to have Coco in the parks. People have been discussing for years now for a villains-centric land, or even a villains-centered park itself. And it sounds like Disney is actually possibly thinking about doing that now. This is a company that has been around for 100 years now, and there's no sign that this company will go anywhere in the next 100 years. So I think it's important to remember that the magic is all still there. It's in the parks, it's in their movies, it's in their TV shows, it's inside of everybody watching this video. And one thing that Disney did is they put together a video to end out this panel. It showed off that the magic is still there, and this video did remind me that even though I am part of this super fandom, you watching this video are all part of this super fandom because you care. You pay attention to all of the news, all of the changes. You watch videos like this. You attend D23, or you watch videos regarding D23. You love Disney and the Disney parks. But it's important to remember that you and I will never experience that first time walking into a Disney park. The magic of that first time, it's never gonna come again. So holding on to that idea of what the Disney parks were and making it negatively impact what the Disney parks are becoming is not a great way to look at this. As we all grow older and become more and more aware of the financial aspect of Disney, or the things that Disney is taking away that we used to love, we need to go to these parks or go to the movies and look in the eyes of the younger generations that are experiencing these things for the very first time like we did. So I just want to provide a little reminder, the magic is real. The magic is still in the parks. But anyways, leave a like on this video, leave a comment what your thoughts are on this entire D23 panel, what Disney is doing currently. Subscribe to the channel so that you can be aware of the new videos that I'm going to be releasing very soon. And I hope all of you have a great day, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. See you real soon.